marvel.
Corvo Attano, how handsome you are for a man of your age. And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider? I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison to tell his trial. My father lost it all. Sent me to the City Watch, one step above begging. Think I had to take your orders? Corvo Attano, son of a Zirconan tradesman.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lord Corvo, what happened?
I'll be all Captain Mayhew.
Oh!
So that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the City Watch. The Empress's last resort, the safe room inside your daughter's chambers, is holding enough gold to buy an island. And they say this is one of the only 2 keys.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
Welcome to the Corvo playthrough of Dishonored 2.
Sir, how long is it going to take, Captain?
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos. Ramsey knows what he's doing. The man's moving up in the world. He's old blood, one of the good families. And now that he's helped the rightful Empress take the throne, the Ramseys are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
This playthrough is going to be a little bit different than the Emily one in a number of ways. Number one, I'm Corvo instead of Emily.
Dunwall always has a way of turning sour, just as soon as you get comfortable.
Number two, I'm low KS rather than high.
Delilah took away the mark of the outsider. No more sorcery.
Is Lady Emily all
There's a
right?
coup underway. She's imprisoned for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Maybe through Emily's safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for you. Get away and help Emily.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhew. Goodbye.
And number three, the commentary is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, Corvo doesn't have any powers, Delilah took them all. By different commentary, I mean mostly that this is going to be recorded post, as opposed to the Emily playthrough, which was 90-95% live, with some additions afterwards. I'm also going to talk about more gameplay type of things, and since we've already played through it once, we sort of know the differences of low chaos and high chaos. This is the first mission where you don't have any powers, and it's not really noticeably different for Emily or Corvo in any way, gameplay-wise.
So he says, keep alert, and I says, I am alert, I've been alert. And then he says, oh yeah, but this time, I really mean it.
Well, you probably should have listened. Going low chaos as opposed to high chaos on this mission is mostly just, instead of stabbing people, you choke them out. Now, there is a lot of extra stuff you can find, even on a mission as this, when there's no bone charms and runes or anything. Just a lot of coins and stuff you can find. In an effort not to have every mission be well over 2-3 hours long, I'm going to be a little bit more ruthless when it comes to cutting out stuff that's not that super important. I'm trying to make sure that all the cool stuff is actually left in the video, most of the dialogue, everything that's sort of different, things that come across different when you're low chaos as opposed to high chaos, and so on. And of course, differences of being Corvo as opposed to being Emily. Such as cleaning up these things.
Just spin it. Pick a place to lick my wounds. I've got to regroup. I helped Emily get a frog unstuck from this old clock when she was 11. I swear I'll find a way to fix this. To bring her back.
Minor flavor things, but cool. There's nothing in here. I thought there might have been, but...
The Hound Pit's pub. Today starts another chapter. But will it get as bad as those times?
So, the voice actor for Corvo is Stephen Russell, best known for... Well, for most of you, probably best known as that guy from the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. But for a lot of old school people, he's best known as the voice of Garrett from Thief, the original Thief games, 1, 2, and 3.
As we both know, whoever's killing off my detractors is doing so for calculated effect, undermining me. The Crown Killer is being guided by someone. But who? Tomorrow's the anniversary of Mother's death. A sad day for us both. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've protected me, and taught me how to protect myself. You've helped me see what was right for the people of the Empire. We drained the flooded district, fought back the gangs, and yesterday we launched a beautiful ship in Mother's name. I'm trying to become the sovereign she wanted me to be. But Father, I wouldn't be here without you.
Because we chose Corvo, the message is from Emily, as opposed to the other way around. So, you know, magic change of things. There you go. Major decisions in this first chapter is pretty much just how do you handle Ramsey. And as you might remember, as Emily, we stabbed him quite brutally and took back the ring. For Corvo and for Lokeas, we're of course going to handle things differently.
The throne room blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room. We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing. Yes. The natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the King and Queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
Ramsey's one of the key figures for this whole coup in the first place, of course, so can understand the temptation to just kill him, but Lokeas being Lokeas, we're not going to do that. For some reason he's taking ages to actually start moving now. I think he's sort of looking around in that room to see things, so I'm gonna go over there and check, see if he's actually on the way, but yes he is. As is fitting for the very first mission, he's not very difficult either way. Part of what I like about Dishonored is that people don't really have unique mechanics to them in terms of making them unnatural and unrealistic. Even someone like Delilah will die if you stab her in the throat. Well, once you've done everything that leads up to that place.
Nothing will stop me from bringing you home, Emily.
That's Ramsey. By that I mean there's no such thing as someone having magically requiring to be, you know, impaled 4 times rather than 1 to die and that sort of thing.
It's kind of dry. Okay. Rather go for a whiskey or something.
What wouldn't I give for a bottle of pear soda?
For this playthrough, in general, I am mostly going for Merciful and Shadow, which means don't get detected and don't kill anyone. I've already done that on a playthrough off screen, so in this playthrough, if I do end up getting seen once or twice, I'm not really going to bother that much. The main thing is that I'm going to go for low chaos and, yeah, don't really do anything crazy. But if somehow one unconscious person ends up drowning or getting eaten by bloodflies or rats, or one guy just accidentally sees me as I'm walking to end the level or whatever, I am not going to bother starting over everything from scratch.
I thought that...
And neither should you, unless you're going specifically for the achievement.
Look at this place.
You can sit here. So the throne room is pretty messy, pretty ruined. And here's poor Emily.
Emily, I'll make this right. I promise. They'll pay for this, but I need to regroup, away from Dunwall. Trouble has found us again, Jessamine. Animals. No respect.
A pretty fitting voice for Corvo, I think. It works out pretty well. As I continue to play through the game, I gradually like sort of how they characterized him. But that should be mostly enough for what's inside the actual castle. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Ramsey and bring him to the safe room now that we have the ring. Since we can't go back here, I'm sort of trying to make sure that I've picked up every little bit of coin and every pouch of money and so on. Funnily enough though, in low chaos you don't end up spending that much money. Because for the most part you just avoid all the enemies. You don't really need to bother upgrading your sword, upgrading your grenades, upgrading your spring razors, upgrading your pistol and that sort of thing. So a lot of the money don't really go to that sort of stuff. But I can't help but feel like a little bit of a completionist. I feel like I'm doing better in the game when I'm cleaning the place out, picking everything up we need. Also eating all the fruit we can see, because fruit is healthy.
If only this were Delilah's head, or the Duke's.
Some lines are actually exactly the same for both Corvo and Emily, but sometimes they feel different, depending on who's saying them and how they're saying them. I like it, but in some cases it just feels like, oh, they only made one.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
We're almost out. So instead of killing Ramsey, we're just gonna leave him here.
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial Suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsey. Enjoy the rations and well water, sleeping next to a fortune.
He can't leave, and he won't cause any more trouble, and we didn't have to kill him. The actual contents of this little safe room is mostly the same.
Emily, my daughter, I know that one day you'll be grown up, and I wonder what you'll remember of these years. Will you recall your time as a child with fondness? Or were there too many caretakers, formal dinners, and lessons about boring old history? Maybe the precious hours we spent together will shine brighter.
Samuel Beechworth made this.
With your mother and with Corvo.
Wonder what advice he would have about today.
I hope the season of rats and plague will be nothing more than a passing shadow.
I suspect the Crown Killer is connected to Delilah's coup. This could be handy.
And her advisors. You'll sit on the throne someday.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
It was not your choice to be the daughter of an empress, but I believe you'll rise to the challenge. Stay good-hearted, Emily. On, telling stories, and only share your power with those you truly trust.
If only I could talk to Jessamine one more time.
That audiograph is in one of the missions in Dishonored 1 even. It's
Out
pretty
into
cool to
the
see it here
world
as well.
once more. How many people had forgotten this mask?
The mask goes back on. And we are done here. Next up, the Dunwall streets.